It would have been a lot funnier if Steve Carell just played Michael Scott. Foxcatcher was directed by Bennett Miller, stars Steve Carell, Channing Tatum, and Mark Ruffalo. It tells the tale of Olympic wrestler Mark Schultz and his brother Dave Schultz and the relationship with the eccentric, maybe crazy, really creepy billionaire John DuPont. Hopes were running very high for this movie. It's been the focus of a lot of awards buzz, especially for the actors. And that is by far the best part of this movie. All three of these central performances, Steve Carell, Channing Tatum, and Mark Ruffalo, are amazing. All three of them blow it out of the water. They are fantastic. Steve Carell has never really done anything dramatic, especially to this extent. He is full-on creepy. And I was like, he was a weird character, and Steve Carell played him so well. Channing Tatum played a character he kind of doesn't usually play, which is instead of being a kind of, oh, I'm Channing Tatum, or like star of White House Down or 21 Jump Street. He was like kind of like this, he was shy. He didn't like talk that much. He kind of kept to himself. And you could really see that he had a much more subtle performance than Steve Carell. He had to do it, and I thought the subtlety worked fantastically. Just the way he walked, the way he moved, the way he did or didn't like make eye contact with people was very, very interesting, and Channing Tatum really blew it out of the water. Mark Ruffalo was also fantastic. I mean, the actors in this movie were just so great, and that's the best part of it. However, I would probably have to say the worst part is that it is a very slow build, extremely slow. It takes a while to get where it's going, and once it gets there, it's a little bit underwhelming. Like, it's, if I were to summarize this movie, I would say I admire it more than I enjoyed it. I enjoyed like all the individual aspects. Like the acting was amazing. The cinematography was beautiful. The direction was very good. The score was ominous. And everything looked really good, but I'd say the plot was probably the weakest point. And for that reason, some people might find it boring. I was never really bored, but I did like kind of check my watch a couple of times. Not watch, I don't have a watch. I checked kind of the time to see, is like, all right, is this almost over? Because it is a little dull at points, but the high points are very high, and they're very much worth watching. This movie should be viewed, especially if you want to like be up with the Oscars, because Steve Carell is a shoo-in. The movie is a shoo-in. I'd say Bennett Miller for direction is probably gonna get in there. Mark Ruffalo or Channing Tatum, maybe both, will be nominated. So if you're kind of one of those people that wants to keep up with the Oscars, you need to see this movie. But you're just kind of a casual moviegoer, you might not enjoy this movie that much. It's technically perfect. It's beautiful. It's little aspects of this movie, so much effort was put into them. These performances are by far the highlight, but it's lacking kind of an emotional connection. Like, you have a slight emotional connection, I'd say more than anyone else than to Dave Schultz, Mark Ruffalo, because he's the most likable. But you don't get enough of Mark, and you don't get enough of John DuPont to really care for them, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I give Foxcatcher a B+. I mean, if it was just a little more fast-paced, maybe they cut a little bit out of it, this would have been amazing, but its length kind of brought it down. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.